Hey everybody, I'm Danny, and the instrument I chose to do, or me and Zach chose to do, was the didgeridoo. The didgeridoo is originally made from tree trunks or limbs that have been hollowed out and get unique sound from wear and tear over time and termite damage. What we originally wanted to do was implement two instruments and put the didgeridoo into a pan flute type configuration, but after some trial and error, we found that it wasn't sturdy enough and it couldn't hold properly. So we just stuck with our original didgeridoo, which I painted up all nice for you guys, of course. And the didgeridoo was actually one of the first musical instruments ever created or found. I'm not really sure because it's tree trunks which are hollowed out, so somebody could have either picked up a piece of wood and started blowing into it, or they could have hollowed it out even more. I'm not 100% sure. The didgeridoo was founded or was developed by the Aboriginal people of Australia, and it is played by continuously vibrating your lips in a raspberry formation, like a, and blowing through the tube while vibrating your lips. It is properly played with a technique which is called continuous breathing, which is breathing while you're actually blowing out, so you don't lose the flow of the instrument and you just have a steady sound, I guess. But yeah, and I'd say for me personally, this instrument gives off a deep, buzzy growl, and to me it's very earthy and very soothing. In all honesty, I really quite like it. So here's the first one. This is 3 feet with 1.5-inch tube, the 90-degree angle, and a little mouthpiece. This is how it sounds. As you can see, I can't breathe properly and do it, but it still makes pretty cool sound. With this one, it is just a straight tube, same length, same width, but changes the sound a little bit. Oh, by the way, the didgeridoo is meant to be a one-note instrument, but can have a variety of sounds and range from a lot of sounds. The best way to play the didgeridoo and get the most sounds is to actually imitate animal sounds while playing, like a cockaroo call or a dingo bark or whatever they do. But yeah, so this is the other one. As you can see, not much of a difference from the first one. But then here's where we get a little different. This is a 6-foot pipe, same width, but it's much longer. Pretty cool. Sounds kind of like an Appalachian horn or whatever. And this is a 2-inch pipe, also 6 feet. So as you can see, most don't have multiple notes. They kind of just go off your breath. And I found mainly with this instrument, the toughest part was that the ADSR, like the acoustic envelope, all varies with your breath. It's all relative to your breathing, because I'll demonstrate it, but you can breathe in you can breathe in really hard right away to get the initial attack, or you can actually build up to it. So, sorry guys. that's that, and this is my buddy playing some didgeridoo for you. Said, I'm gonna throw it over to Zach, and he's gonna take you a little bit more into depth with of the harmonics and stuff.
How does our instrument work? Like a trumpet or a tuba, the didgeridoo is a lip valve instrument, meaning in normal use, a standing sound wave in our instrument cooperates with the vibrating lips to produce a note. The player's lips open, a pulse of high air pressure flows through them, travels down the instrument, reflects the open end, and returns to the lips. If the lip vibration cycle matches the resonance of the instrument, then the pulse of the pressure can actually assist the lips to open for the next cycle. This all determines the playing pitch of our instrument. Tube instruments, such as the didgeridoo, have a series of resonances with different frequencies. If your didgeridoo has no leaks, the losses are usually greater at high frequencies, so the resonances become weaker at a high frequency. For most didgeridoo playing, only the resonance with low frequency is used. If the didgeridoo is cylindrical, like a piece of pipe, these higher resonances will be above the lowest note. The didgeridoo doesn't have any tuning slides like brass lip valve instruments such as the trumpet, so you cannot specifically tune any didgeridoo perfectly. Therefore, the tuning of our instrument involves a few key variables to keep in mind, such as environment, temperature, different playing styles, and whether the player is playing aggressive or softly. When it's cold, the didgeridoo will be flat or lower than the pitch it is normally intended to be, and if it's hot, the opposite will happen, and you'll play higher than intended to be. Because we use pipe, this explains why the frequencies shown on our EQ are in a higher range than a traditional didgeridoos would be, which a traditional didgeridoo's strongest frequencies are at around 50 to 200 hertz, with additional harmonics going to around 1,000 hertz. Although it can only play one note, the didgeridoo has a huge range of timbre, and since the timbre is directly affected by the vocal tract, and the ADSR is in relation with the timbre, both timbre and ADSR are affected by the way that our instrument is played, as discussed earlier.